Okay. So I live in just outside of Toronto with my partner. We have a 10-year-old dog, Suli, that we adopted just end of last year. Um, One of us, my partner works from home, which is fantastic. And I work downtown, which is pretty close. Yeah, I grew up outside of Toronto in the Niagara region. Yeah, we always had a pretty big property, so we always had dogs, mostly German Shepherds growing up.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've always loved dogs. I love all animals, really. Yeah, and so I've really always had animals around, and continue to do so even now.
Terrific. So when you adopted Suli, where did you adopt her from?
We actually adopted her. We found her on Kijiji.
Oh,
Um,
yes.
Yeah, I found her and my previous dog, Lucky, who we let go last summer. Found him on Kijiji as well. Lucky was a free dog. Kara, sorry, Suli. Oh my God, I'm getting confused.
Yes.
Suli was pretty close to free, but yeah, they were both senior dogs. Their families were looking to rehome them.
Okay.
Um, yeah, I've always kind of been drawn to sort of the senior dogs. I just feel like not many people want them as much as the puppies.
Yep.
And B, they just kind of jive with my sort of personality more. They're chill. They're happy to just, lie in bed all day with you. It's much more my kind of energy. We'll go out for walks, but then we kind of just love to chill in the meantime.
Yeah, no, it's great. I hope there are many more people like you because senior animals, they need special attention and extra TLC and they deserve it. And yet they're the ones that often end up, in shelters or just being needing to be rehomed because for a myriad of reasons. Kara is different. Is she your first overseas adoption?
She is, yes. And just to be clear, yeah, we're fostering her at the moment.
Fostering. Sorry, excuse me.
That's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So this is your first either foster or adoption sort of scenario with an overseas dog from overseas.
Yes. Yeah, she's the first that we've had from overseas. The previous two dogs, Suli and Lucky, that I had previously, we were able to meet them first. We met with the families. We had long conversations with them. Whereas Kara, we knew someone who had adopted her sister, who's now in Toronto as well. And yeah, I mean, I was always interested in fostering. Even before we got Suli, we were interested in fostering. We filled out an application for fostering and an application for Humane Society for doing some volunteer work.
Very cool.
We never heard back from either of them. And we just ended up adopting because we thought, well, I just needed a dog in my life. So we found Suli and we adopted her.
Yeah.
But I've still been interested in fostering even after we got Suli. I just wanted to help a dog who needed a place to go, and we have the room, and we're more than capable of taking care of another dog. So yeah, I thought it was a good opportunity to help a dog and she seemed like she really needed to come to Canada as soon as possible to find her forever family. So
Excellent.
yeah, so she was the first one that we fostered from abroad.
Abroad. Okay, that's terrific. And she's from Turkey in this case, but not only that, she is a young dog, which is has been a little bit of a learning curve for you, I hear. And so if you could tell me what it's been like for you fostering Kara.
Yeah, it has been definitely a learning curve. Like I said, we've had mostly senior dogs in the past, and we're very good at taking care of any sort of like medical health issues they have. We're very good at that. And I haven't actually had a young dog in my life, probably since I was a teenager, because
Right.
we always had our dogs from puppies, and it's different when you have a dog from a puppy. You can train them the way you want to, and they're going to be a certain way. And when you get senior dogs, they're already trained. And so they're usually in a very, mature, trained way as well.
Yeah.
Whereas adopting a dog who is young from a background that you don't really know where it's come from, it was tough to sort of integrate at first into our life. Just in terms of she didn't have the boundaries that, most dogs would have,
Yeah.
like, hey, don't do that. I don't even think she understand when I told her no. I've never had a dog look at me when I said no and kind of still wag its tail and not really know what I'm saying to her. Like, don't chew my socks. Okay. So,
Even though I assume you're using tone, right? Because
right,
it's not like a language thing. It's no, or like don't.
exactly.
Yeah, but she's just like has not had that experience so much, I guess.
No, exactly. Even the finger, it didn't mean anything to her. So, and just like we just didn't, I said it, and I thought that I would be really good at taking, any sort of dog in stride. But like I said, just having, we didn't know a whole lot about her when she came, which, and maybe it'd be different if we knew more, but we kind of had very little information up front, and we're like, well, whatever, anything that comes our way, we'll take it. And we realized very quickly that she's a chewer. And
Oh,
it was like, okay, let's go buy a bunch of chew toys for her. Turns out I ended up taking an old t-shirt and tying it into knots. That has been her favorite chew toy by far, over and above the $80 worth of chew toys that I bought her when she first came. Being younger, she has a lot more energy than our current dog, and she's more needy. She wants to go out, go for walks, play with our older dog, who's really not into the playful mood. She's the annoying younger sister to our current dog, so she'll lick her face, and our dog's just like, just get out of here. So she's definitely settled down, and settled into routine in the month that we've had her.
good.
But even just that, just having the routine of knowing, we go outside to the bathrooms, we come in, I work all day, and she's happy to sleep on the couch now, and then we go for our walks in the evening.
Yeah.
And we because she has a higher energy level, we should take her to the dog park, once every 2-3 days, so she can really let loose and go crazy with the other dogs. Which again, we'd go for the dog park maybe once a week with Suli, and she'd love it. But now we have to go every 2-3 days just to get her energy reserves depleted, so she can kind of chill in the meantime.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah.
So by the time I put this episode in its entirety on my blog, Carol will very likely have a forever home already. But having said that, just in case, you're looking probably for someone with a lot of experience and time to devote to a dog with lots of energy, I take it.
Yeah, I think she's a fairly, I'd say she's probably medium energy, only because she's happy to chill most of the day, but then she does need to have a good amount of exercise, either like, an hour walk, or let's say a dog park every 2 to 3 days. But yeah, I think anyone who does adopt her will need to understand that she is a younger dog and will probably have, a good amount of energy. Otherwise, she will find your socks, and she will, she will chew them in frustration.
Out some way, yeah, on her own if she needs to. And I guess somebody who has like experience, not necessarily a trainer or anything, but experience with previous dogs and training them possibly from scratch, even if they're older, kind of thing, not puppies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think anyone. I think anyone who adopts or fosters dogs should have some experience, or at least be willing to get some training with dogs, so they know how to best to work with them, teach them basic commands, and teach them good manners and whatnot. Yeah, and I think you have to be willing to take on all that responsibility anytime you welcome an animal into your house, to be willing to to do whatever it takes to make sure they're in the best possible care and environment for them.
Things to keep in mind if they're considering adopting a pet, especially a pet from overseas, where they may have, like in Kara's case, not as much information on their background available.
I think it's difficult adopting a dog from overseas directly if you've never met them before, and even if you take the word of someone else saying that they are a certain way or they aren't a certain way. I think it's very difficult to really know how they're going to adapt to your environment, especially if you have another pet in the home.
Yes.
It's challenging. So I think fostering is a great way to sort of, ease your way into it, because it is a hefty commitment, but it's a commitment that is only going to be temporary, and hopefully they're going to find their forever home. So I think it's a better situation to foster a dog from overseas rather than adopt them directly. But I think, whether it comes to fostering or adopting any dog, like I said before, like you really have to be willing to have to be committed fully, whether it be to behavioral issues, you might have to go to training or dog school, whether it be to health issues, because even if they come over healthy or you think you're adopting them healthy, I mean, you don't know what lies in their future and what happens later on in their life when they get older. I don't know if you can hear Kara there.
Oh,
But
what's she
I
doing?
think, so sorry?
What's she doing?
Oh, she was just crying. She
Oh,
saw our neighbors walking past, and I think she wants to go out and play with them.
well, soon, Kara, soon.
Exactly. We'll go in a second. But yeah, I think it just goes without saying, anytime you welcome an animal into your house, you have to be willing to take full responsibility of anything that's going to come your way. And unfortunately, that's, a lot of people don't, and which is why we have such an issue of having to rehome them and find, new places for them to go when their situations change, whether it be, family members, whether they have children or they move or whatever the case is. But you have to be willing to take on the full spectrum of responsibility when you're welcoming an animal into your home from, the whole time that you have them.
Absolutely. And fostering, at least if you're fostering at first, you get some support from the organization usually, right? Whether
Yes.
it's with respect to the health of the animal and other things and getting them to you and so forth, correct?
Yes, definitely. So it's been nice in that respect that it's, you have that support, whether it be for information or for medical issues, whatever the case is. So it's not fully on your shoulders, which I think is a great way to ease yourself into it if you're, unsure of how it's going to work in your situation. It's a great means to have that support just for the fostering.
Well, thank you so much for talking with me today.
Great. Thank you for speaking with me.
I'm actually adding a dog to the family. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
Oh, tell me.
Yes. So Kara, who Sarah's been working with bringing over from Turkey.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, she's coming in tomorrow. So I had a little test with her and the cat last Saturday. And so she'll be joining the household as of this weekend. So that's going to be fun.
Oh, I interviewed Courtney for overseas adoption, and we're talking about Kara, and also I've been helping Sarah with Kara, and get so she's going to end up with you then.
She is.
And
I was actually thinking of maybe having you in a couple of weeks, maybe coming straight to the backyard and giving her a little massage if she's still sort of timid and stuff.
oh, well,
Things like
great.
that.
Yes, all right.